All right, so we've discussed the necessity of having consistent measurements, and the most consistent measurement around the entire world, typically used everywhere, is the metric system. So the metric system is also known as the International System of Units, abbreviated SI. So you're looking at this, you're like, SI, that's not International System. It is International System in French. Système International. I don't really speak French very well, so that's my poor attempt at doing that. The French version of the name, it's International System. So metric system, also known as the SI. So what is the metric system? Well, the metric system has to do with a base unit. So the metric system is based on a base unit that corresponds to a certain kind of measurement. So remember, we've talked about the ability to measure volume and length and mass. And so our typical length metric system base unit is going to be meter, volume is liter, and weight or mass is gram. So if you don't know, weight and mass are different. Mass is the amount of matter something has, and then weight is the measurement of mass multiplied by the force of gravity. So your mass would be the same on the moon as well as the earth, but your weight would be different depending on the amount of force of gravity. So mass is different than weight, and then the base unit for mass is gram. So the metric system employs the use of meter, liter, and gram, and prefixes plus the base unit make up the entire metric system. So all these different units that we're using is based upon a prefix and a base unit. So like centimeter would be centi, which is 100th, plus meter gives you centimeter, and then kilo plus liter will give you kiloliter, so 1,000 liters. So everything's dependent upon these base units, meters, liters, and grams. And everything's based on a power of 10 from those things. So once again, the metric system uses the most prefixes are mostly used kilo, centi, and milli. But here's some other ones I want you guys to be familiar with. You have kilo, hecto, deca, meter, gram, liter, and then deci, centi, and milli. So if you've ever seen this before, a way to kind of remember this is K is king, Henry, Henry, my writing is very poor here, died, oh no. And this is unit, so I'm going to say unexpectedly. Sometimes it's base unit, so you can see by. So died unexpectedly by drinking, this is silly. Drinking, C is chocolate, M is milk. What? King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. So what's to be shown here is this base unit. There are 10 meters in a decameter. There are 10 decameters in a hectometer. There are 10 hectometers in a kilometer or kilometer. There are 10 grams in a decagram. There are 10 decagrams in a hectogram. There are 10 hectograms in a kilogram. Or if you're going a couple steps, here's a liter. There are 100 liters in a hectoliter. There are 100, 1,000 liters in a kiloliter. So basically, every time you go to the left, the unit is getting 10 times bigger. If you go to the right, a meter to a decimeter, there's 1/10 of a meter in a decimeter, 1/10 of a decimeter in a centimeter, 1/10 of a centimeter in a millimeter. So same thing, if I was to go from gram to decigram to centigram to milligram, that would be 1,000th. So that would be 1/10 of a gram, 1/100th of a gram, 1,000th of a gram for a milligram. Just to kind of give you guys a general idea. So one of the things I want you to be familiar with are these different prefixes. Also, there's a couple other ones that are like a couple steps over. So if you're looking at kilo and you went a couple more steps, 1, 2, 3, you would have this G, or actually, sorry, it would be an M for mega. I don't know if you've ever heard of a megagram or a megameter or a megaliter or a megabyte or a gigabyte. Those are definitely different prefixes that you could use. Also, if you're going from milli, you could do 3 steps down smaller would be a micro, which would look like that. It's a weird mu symbol. It's kind of like an M, but it's a micro. And then a couple more steps, 3 more steps would be a nano. So even smaller, like a nanometer or a nanoliter, different really small volumes. So I just want you guys to be familiar with how to convert between those different units. So if I was to tell you I had 1,567 meters, and I want to convert that into, let's say, centimeters. So either you could take this number, meters, and it would be, there's a tenth, there's 10 meters in a decimeter. I'm sorry, there's 10 decimeters in a meter, there's 10 centimeters in a decimeter. So it actually looked like there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So if you really wanted to, you could say, okay, I have 1,567 meters, and I'm going to set up this thing called a T-chart, and I'm going to say there are in 1 meter, there are 100 centimeters. So basically what this T-chart is, it's saying that you have 156,700 centimeters in every 1 meter. So if you're looking at this conversion here, it's just like kind of multiplying by a ratio. So a T-chart is just like multiplying like this. And when you multiply across, the meters get canceled out, and you'd have 156,700 centimeters. So in the same way, you can kind of just take this and alter the where the decimal point is. And so you can kind of take this number and notice that you go from meter to centimeter, so it's 2 steps to the right. You can take this decimal point, which is hypothetically there, 2 places to the right, and it would be 105,600 centimeters. So you can either do the conversion this way, or move the decimal point. If you move to the right 2 places, 2 places to the right. So another question for you is, if I have 56 kilograms, so that's K, G, and I want to get to grams, how many grams is that? I'm just going to ask you to see if you guys can figure that out. So yeah, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either say 56 kilograms. I'm going to do my T-chart, which is like multiplying across. In 1 kilogram, there is 1,000 grams, and it would give you 56,000 grams. So 56,000 grams. Or you could take this 56, so 56, assume there's that decimal point, 1, 2, 3 places to the right, because you're going 1, 2, 3 places to the right, it would be 56,000 grams. Let's do another example. So in converting this, we're going to do 2 more examples. But before we actually do that, make sure that we know that the prefix for kilo is K, H, deca is DA, deci is D, deci is D, centi is C, and then milli is M. So if I want to convert from millimeters, I'm going to say I have 599 millimeters, and I want to convert that into hectometers. How many would that be? Yeah, hopefully you got an answer. We're going to go through that and kind of just show you guys what you would do. So the really fun mathy way would be 599 millimeters. I'm going to do my T-chart, which looks like this, which is multiplying across. For every 1 hectometer, which goes on the top to be able to cancel out, I have 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 1 million, no wait, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. I have 100,000 millimeters. So when you do this, you'd end up getting a very small number, 0.00599 hectometers. Or in the same way, you can take this decimal point and move it. You would take it, move that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to end up getting 0.00599 hectometers. So hopefully you got something like that. We'll do one more example. This is honors. We're gonna see if I have 50, I don't know why I've been using the 5. Let's do 87, let's do liters. So capital L. How many centiliters? No, let's do something we're gonna do more often. Milliliters is that. So what do you guys think? How many milliliters? Great, if you said 87,000, you are right. So 2 ways to do it. You can take the 87 decimal points right here, 1, 2, 3 places to the left, it'd be 87,000. Or if you like the conversion ratio using the T-chart, you can say 87 liters multiplied by, for every 1 liter, I have 1,000 milliliters. How do I figure that out? Because there's 10, 100, 1,000 milliliters in every one every liter. So 1,000 milliliters in every 1 liter, that would give you 87,000 liters. All right, we're gonna do more of these conversions the next day, but hopefully this was helpful, and I'll talk to you guys